Hello. Gosh, that sounded horrible. Hello. I'm here. I'm on time. And I'm ready for our Facebook Live. We'll see if anybody else joins in today. Gosh, that sounded horrible. Hello. I'm here. I'm on time. And I'm ready for our Facebook Live. And now I'm going to cut down the speakers. Okay, I don't know why I can't seem to remember to do that. I'm in my craft room today instead of my classroom. I am lucky enough that I have two places that I can stamp, and a place that I do most of my creations, and then a place where I can have class. And so I just wanted to see how all of this would work in this room. And I see there's a little bit of shadow problem here. So we'll kind of try to do the best we can. And it may be that I need to go back to the other room. Yeah, I'm seeing some shine there. But we'll start in just a couple minutes. I did make it back from the DMV in good time. I have qualified for my real ID. I don't know when I'll ever need it now that we're all kind of in for a while, but when I need it, I'll have it. And what did they say? Maybe 10 days, because they'll have to mail it to me. Strange, they won't let you in without an appointment. And I made the appointment way back in November at some time. My husband John had gone in for a physical, and the lady asked if she could see his driver's license, and then commented to him that they were out of date. They had expired. Well, they had not sent us anything from the state about renewal of the license, which I think they always had in the past. So I looked, and yes, my license had also expired. His back in August and mine in September. So he actually has, I think it's called a CDL, because he drives a bus for a tour company part-time, and he had to have his license. He had to go and stand outside because they want you to have an appointment for everything, and the first appointment was after Christmas. So anyway, I went ahead and was able to renew mine online, but he could not because he had the CDL that he had to renew, and of course that's a little more stringent. So he did go and wait there one day, and as soon as he mentioned that he needed a CDL, they did let him in without an appointment, and they did take care of him. So I had a license that was current, but I wanted to go ahead and get the other. Hey Tina, how are you today? Hope you had a good Christmas. Hey Jean, good to see you too. So today I'm going to talk with you about a couple of specials that I had in my newsletter this week, and then we're going to do something with this stamp set, Enjoy the Moment. So again, these are our catalogs that are going to be coming live in just a week. I had quite a few catalogs sent out through Stampin' Up. I think those were sent out around the 10th, maybe the 12th, but they are sent out in bulk mail, and a lot of people are saying they haven't received theirs. Just be patient. Hopefully it will be here in a few days. I did have a customer tell me that she received her second one in the mail because they're shipped separately yesterday. So she has them both now. So hopefully you will have them soon. If not, just contact me and I'll send you another, I suppose. I can't open these yet for another week, but I wanted to tell you that in the mini catalog, there's a stamp set. Oops, there I go, knocking stuff off. There's a stamp set called Sweet Strawberry, and it has, sorry, I didn't get the punch, but it has a punch that goes with it that's a strawberry builder punch. And it's a great little bundle to have. My little Sagan loves strawberries and blueberries, so I had to have this set. And in the celebration offerings, they have this set called Berry Blessings that kind of goes right along with this one. And it has paper that goes with it. So it has 12 sheets, 2 of each of these strawberry and blueberry papers, and maybe some blackberry. Okay, so there are these sides to the paper, and then it goes with this on the other side. So for those of you that order $100 worth, that's how much you have to order in order to get this and this, the paper, for free. If you order $100 worth and you order these, then I'm going to send you the makings for 3 cards. And it will be these 3. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. I think they're really cute. And then here's the third one. Now, I'm not going to send you the designer paper because you will already have it, but I will send you the card bases and the extra things that need to be cut out for that and the ribbon. And I'll send you that. It will be enough to make 2 of each card. So there's just a little extra something that you might could get. And then I also wanted to show you my class. Hold on just a moment. I thought I was ready. And I've got cords going every which way. And I can't get to it. I was taking some pictures and left this over there. This is the class that I'm offering. It's going to come in a clear acetate box, or you'll get the box. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit strange here, I suppose. But anyway, you'll get a ribbon to tie around it. And wait, there's something on there that's just jumping. And then the cards are these. We're using the note cards. So it's this one, this one, this one, this, and this. So there are 5 different cards. You'll get the envelopes that go with it, and then they will fit inside of here. Okay, so you'll get everything you need to make 2 cards of each. 2 cards of each. So with this, you will get the Enjoy the Moment stamp set. That's $23, and that's this set right here. You'll get a half a pack of the basic white note cards and envelopes, and I will be using Whisper White as long as I have that. You'll get a half a pack of the Neutrals Designer Series paper. That is the 6x6, so that's 20 sheets. You get a pack of linen thread. You'll get 10 sheets of basic white, Whisper White while I have it, and cut to 5.5 by 8.5 for your stamping. There's a lot of stamping and cutting in this one, and you'll need your white for that. 2 of the acetate boxes, 2 of the ribbons to tie around your box, the pieces that you need to assemble to each of 5 cards, except I probably won't, not sure if I'll be cutting your designer paper or not, but you will have measurements. You're also going to get a 6x6 piece of the papers in the celebration, just to get a taste of that. And then I will have a PDF that has all of the cards in there that would be emailed for you. So this would be $50 plus $4 shipping. I have a form for you to fill out, or you can just email me if you would rather. It's at johewins@gmail.com. And should you already have the stamp set, you can substitute a stamp set that's about the same price. Or if you just want the class, I'll be able to sell you that for $25. And it will have everything in it except for the stamp set itself. So that's a lot of stuff. So I hope you'll be interested. I hope you'll let me know that you would like to take part in this. It's one of my first classes to go. And I don't usually do a class that has all of the supplies like that listed in there and ready to go. Trying to see how that will turn out for me. So I hope you'll be interested in that. So we are going to go back to the Enjoy the Moment stamp set. And I have 2 cards that we're going to make with you today. So we are going to be doing some embossing as well. So for the first card, we're going to have a base of Early Espresso 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I will just match my corners on that. Even though you score it, you know, we're just human. We may not score it exactly right, so you still have to match those corners. Okay? And we're going to be using some of the In Good Taste Designer Series paper for this. So I've picked out this one. And we are going to be using some of the stamps, which I actually put away for a few moments. Let me get my bases out again. You can think you're so ready for everything. And then you think, oh, so that's why I had those stamps out. And then I had put them away. So we're going to be using this stamp set, or this stamp, to start with, and our Versamark. Now, we don't have the Stampin' Buddy anymore. I don't know why, but I am going to go ahead and use it on this paper. And I'm going to be stamping with Versamark. Okay, I'm going to get me a little paper towel here. Okay. I think I'll just move that out of the way. Now I know, or for me, when I am stamping something that has a long stem like this, it often will get the ink down here around the bottom. So I am going to try to get that out of the way. And I'm going to stamp up in here. Now you're not going to really be able to see this. In fact, I can't see it. And I noticed when I was stamping this yesterday, it's just stamping a little bit blind. But we'll hope that it works out. And I'm going to look for the shiny a little bit and hope that that's about right. And then I am going to stamp it one more time. So if we end up really messing up, I tried. I can't see that at all. So I'm just going to come over here and hope that it will look okay together. So I'm going to bring in, this is my white embossing powder. And I'm just going to sprinkle this over. And I can see one of these overlapped a little bit, but I'm okay with that. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. And I know this is going to be loud, but we'll just deal with it. If you haven't seen embossing, it's really kind of fun to watch this powder begin to melt. It takes it a moment to start. I often forget that I can stamp on my designer paper. I forget about being able to do that. Okay, I'm going to make it go a little faster than that. Aha, now you can see that it's starting to turn. It's melting. It's so fun to watch that. Okay, just a little bit to make sure. And even though I tried real hard to rub off that extra ink along the bottom, I see that I have some pieces there, but we'll just do our best to try to hide that. So I'm going to bring in my blending brushes. This is one of the new things that we have coming out, and it comes in a 3-pack, and I'm going to be using this one for right now. I used Early Espresso with this, but I think I can use it for any of the browns that I want to stamp. So I'm going to bring it in here and get my brush full. I'm going to just tap off some of that, and then I'm just going to blend in some of the Early Espresso ink around my seed pods. So it's going to kind of blend in a little bit with the paper. It's kind of like fading out into the paper. Okay. All right. And I think that's pretty good. But I want that to pop a little bit more than it is really. So I'm going to take a cloth. This is just a Kleenex. And I'm going to rub it over my embossing. And you'll see that's just going to make that stand out. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So this piece is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to bring in a piece of red. It's just a little bit bigger. It's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I'm going to go ahead and just glue that down to that layer. I like to hold it by the corners diagonally and just kind of hover and get that down hopefully so that it's straight. Now the embossing does warp that paper just a little, and you might want to try embossing it a little from the back. That sometimes helps. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this to the front of the card. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so we're going to be using this seed pod, and I'm going to stamp that in the Early Espresso on some white scrap here. And we're going to be cutting this out. So I'm not worried that I have a little bit of ink over here because I'm going to cut it off anyway. Okay. Hi Beth, how are you? Thanks for joining us today. This is a really pretty stamp set. I'll tell you that when I first saw it, I wasn't really impressed, but I saw some things that people were doing with it, and I had to have it. Of course, I feel that way about a lot of them. So I'm cutting this out with my snips, and I like to leave a little bit of white around the outside. It just makes it a little bit easier to cut. And it's good if you can to turn the paper more than you turn your scissors. And like I said, I'm really kind of going around this quickly. And the class that I showed you just a few minutes ago does have a lot of fussy cutting. It doesn't bother me. I like to cut. This stamp set did not have a die set to go with it. Okay, so I've got my piece that I cut out, and let me get some dimensionals, and we're going to add this to the card. And let's see if I've got some I've cut in half somewhere. Yeah, there's a couple. So I'm going to stick this one down in there. I'm not going to worry so much about this little stem right here. We'll get it a little later. And so I'm going to add this, looking at the sample that I've made already. I'm going to add this. I really want to kind of cover that up. So I'm going to add it, I think, like that. Okay. And we're going to have a saying with this. So I'm going to pull in a little something different. I digress for a moment. And I'm going to pull in this stamp set, the mini messages. This is also in the mini catalog. It has, I don't know how many messages that is. It's a lot. And it's for different things. So they're really good. It comes on a big stamp. And really the best thing to use for this is your Stamparatus. So I'm going to show you how to stamp this and how to cut it. But I'm not really going to cut it because the table that I'm on is going to be one that's going to shake a lot today. So I cut a piece. This is 5 by 6, and it's maybe a little bit bigger than I need, but not so much. So I've figured out about where I need to put this on here, and I'm going to go ahead and just ink it up. I think I'll use my real red for this. And I'm just going to ink. And you know, one of the best things about the Stamparatus is that you can stamp again if you need to, as long as your paper doesn't move. So you can see that's a lot of sayings. And I see right in here I probably need to stamp it again. So we'll take the plunge and see what happens. There you go. And then I wanted to show you how the dies work with this. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. You would place this on your die cut machine, and this would have to be with a big machine. It won't, it's too wide for that smaller machine. So these are your dies, and it cuts everything out at once. Now what you need to make sure you see is the hearts and the stars, because that is how you're going to line it up to cut it. So you're going to put those pieces where they are lined up as best you can. And then you're going to send it through like that. And it's going to cut all of those sayings at once. And I have decided to put my sayings in a box. So I've done this in several different colors now. And so I'll be saving those. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to tell you is that after you cut it out, this is what you're going to have left. This is what you'll have left. It might be a good idea to keep this, or a good idea to keep this. I'm going to keep it right inside where my messages die goes. And then you can take it and look at other stamp sets and see if maybe that die wouldn't quite work for that. It might be a little bit too small. With this die, you could use this die to cut out "Happy Birthday, You Sweet Thing." So you can use it. This oval would be great for "Hello There." So you don't have to use it just with the sayings in the stamp set. You can use it with all of your sayings. So I'm not going to cut that out. I am going to tell you that when you do cut it, it's a little bit hard to get through because there's just so much of this. And there was a lot of cracking and creaking. So don't be alarmed. It's okay. So I'm going to pull out one of those sayings to use with this card. And I'm going to be using this one, "Wishing you a year of magical moments and wonderful memories." So I'm going to pull in this real red braided trim. And this trim is retiring. I don't know, they may have already sold out of it. I have no idea. But I thought, you know what? I love the red and the early espresso together. Why not just use this for the card? So I'm going to trim this off. That might be more than I need. And I'm going to attach that with some glue dots. Let me reach over and get a couple. So I'm going to attach Well, I think I'll roll that up. And excuse my nails. I had to cancel appointments last week due to an allergic reaction to something. So nails did not get done, hair did not get cut. But I will. Okay, so I've got that attached to itself. And then I'm just going to add this. Let's see where I want to put it. I think I'd like for it to be right up in there. So, lost my little glue dot. Just going to put that right in there. And add that. And that little thing will go over it. But somehow or another, we're going to cover those pieces also. Actually, I know how we're going to cover them, but all right. So there's that. And then we are going to use this saying to fit right in there and cover up those pieces. So let me add I'm trying to think of how I can put my dimensionals on there so that they will kind of go around this ribbon. Okay, so there's our saying. And then we're going to add one more thing to the front of the card, or actually two more things. I'm going to bring in my bow tire and tie a bow of twine. And I'm just going to go through and do it 3 times. Hey, Teresa. Good to see you today. How's that baby? I hope he's sleeping well. Okay, and then we'll roll up another glue dot. And that is actually going to go right over here. Like that. So, let's see if I can kind of cover up the glue dot. Yeah. So there we go with that. And I'm going to bring in my bone folder and just kind of pull on this ribbon here, or the end, and just kind of curl that just a little bit. So, to finish this up, we're going to add a few of the red rhinestones to the card. And let's see, we'll put, okay, we'll put one there. And maybe right in there. Oh, and right here where I've got that white little line, we'll put one. Okay, so there's this card. And I thought that was really pretty. Here's the first one that I made. Getting ready for everything. And this is another one of the sayings from that mini messages, just a card to say hello. So here's our first one, using the In Good Taste Designer Series paper and embossing right onto the paper. So I have one more card that we're going to make, and this one is using this designer paper. Now, I have a love for this paper, and this week was the first time I could bring myself to cut the paper. It has wood on one side and then this beautiful blue and white print on the other. and I just love that. So we are going to get the stamp that we're going to use, this one, for this card. And we're actually going to be doing it the same way. So I'm going to bring back my Versamark, and we'll ink this up. Now, this is a pretty juicy Versamark. And let me bring back this paper. Although it didn't seem to help before, did it, that I wiped that off? Okay. And get my card to look at it. So we're going to do one right up in here. And again, it's really, really hard to see where you've been. It's almost impossible to see where you've been. So we're just going to do 2 of these on this one. Okay. And I think that is going to work. But you can see I'm working blind. I'm not so sure that that'll work, but we'll make it work, won't we? Okay. Oh, I forgot to use my embossing buddy. We'll just hope and pray for the best. Okay. I like to put mine in one of these tubs to use it. I think that'll be okay. We're going to be sure to close that up. And we'll go ahead and heat up. Okay, I really can't tell if there's extra stuff on there or not, but we'll just hope. All right, there it goes. Embossing is just fun. It's something I really don't do a lot of. It'll help to do a little on the back. Might straighten it up a little. Okay, and so now I'm going to pull out a different blender brush, and we're going to use blue with this, our Night of Navy. And we're just going to do the same thing that we did before. See, then I got a line right in there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hide that. We'll just have to see. Okay, let me wipe off some of this blue. And again, I cut this at 3 3/4 by 5. And I have a piece of navy that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And just like we did before, we'll glue this to that base. Now let me just say, if you needed something cut out in navy, you could cut it out of the middle of this and still use it as your base, as long as this outside area is out there. No one would ever know that part of that was missing. In fact, it might make the card a little lighter weight. I just don't have anything I need right now cut out of that. Too bad, huh? Okay, and then I'm going to put this on a card base of thick, basic white, although this is really Whisper White. Whisper White has retired officially, and the new color will be called Basic White. I'm sure that it's going to be just fine. I don't think we can order it yet. Okay, and so then this is going to go just like that. And we're going to be using the same format. We're actually going to use the same seed pods. I've got 2 of those that I've already cut out that we're going to use. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of those. Now we'll be picking somebody to get these cards in the mail. That we're making these 2 cards. And I haven't done so great lately of getting stuff actually mailed. I had a little confrontation at the post office the other day that has made me not want to return. But I will. So if I told you were going to get something and you never did, I apologize, and I'll get it together soon. Okay, so I'm going to add this seed pod. Kind of up in here. I don't know why, but this is actually looking purple. My sample that I made did not look like that. But, oh well. And then I'm going to put a saying on this. This is also from the Mini Mary Mini Messages. And we're going to put that right in there. That's going to cover up some of that white. Not sure I'm going to get all of that covered, but we'll play. Okay, so this is going to go right in there. And then this one, now on my original card, I went down under there, but now I'm wondering if I should do something kind of like that. Don't know. Okay, and then we're going to use, where did that ribbon go? Here it is. This is a fine navy ribbon that comes with the, I think, Playful Patterns stamp set. So I'm going to do a little double bow with that. I am still offering the paper share. I forgot to put it on my newsletter yesterday. But if you're interested in the paper share, if you'll just let me know, I'll give you all the details. And I think it's $40, but you get quite a bit of stuff. Okay, I'll put that there. This one just isn't looking as pretty as my original. And I don't know why. It just has that pinkish look to it. So I'm going to pull in the Elegant Faceted Gems. And we're going to use these on this card. Hello, Jane. How are you? Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to add, let's see, let me put one right in there. Maybe one here, and I'll use a smaller one there. Okay, so there are those two cards. Okay, so the two cards that I made today were these two. Actually, I already made, and these. Now I have to say, I don't understand why that one is looking so pink on there. This one looks pretty in white. I don't get it. But if you know why, tell me. I would be interested in knowing. So someone will get two of the cards, and I'll do the one with the white and not the pink. So two of the cards in the mail for doing a comment on this video or on the YouTube video. If you would share, I would appreciate it. I'd love to widen the number of people that are watching and hopefully increase some sales. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much again for watching me today, and I'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.